Hi, everybody. So, I am telling you all my flaws and everything throughout the ministry life, but how God is moving. Uh, I was telling you earlier, I just love Paul's statement of, I delight in my weaknesses. I think I delight in them so much that I like to share with you all of them. So, one time I was in Mexico, they again invited me to just minister to them, and they had this huge event for the Middle East. I mean, imagine in Mexico, they were praying, they were doing a conference for the Middle East world. They had heart for Muslims. So this big church invited me. It was my first time to Mexico, and I went there. At that time, my hair was darker color, so I mean, with my Turkish complexions and everything, probably you couldn't tell that I wasn't a Mexican. I look like a Mexican. So I got out of the airport uh, by mistake. Instead of international, they got me out of domestic. So that was the first problem that I experienced, because the person who was going to pick me up was waiting on another gate, another terminal, and they allow me to go without a passport control in Mexico or any ID control from the domestics. So they thought probably I was Mexican. They didn't even worry about it, right? Very rare happens. Anyway, so I was waiting at the gate, waiting and waiting. There were like these two guys. They were looking at me. They were talking to each other. I really started getting a little bit uneasy there, and I tried to call the church. Nobody was answering the phone. And I tried to call other offices, the pastor's house. And one lady said, well, the lady who is going to pick you up is there. She's waiting for you. And I was like, no, nobody is here. And I am really feeling a little scared here, because three guys, they are looking at me and they are talking about me. So anyway, she said, where are you? And I described a store behind me and everything. She said, wait there. My friend is coming to get you from there. Don't move anywhere. So finally, after maybe waiting an hour, I got united with this lady that who was going to take care of me for my entire stay in Mexico. So again, I was waiting there. I was frustrated. I was tired, and this lady picks me up. And it is late at night. We were gonna go to the church, and she turns to me and she says, "Well, we're supposed to go to the church right now." And she's speaking little bit of English. I am speaking little Spanish. We are trying to communicate. And she tells me, we were going to go to the church, but I have a better idea. I am like, no, 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 you don't understand. I have an itinerary. I like to stick to my itinerary. We're going to go to church. She's like, no, 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 no. I'm going to take you somewhere else. I am like, what can I do? This is her car. I am her guest. I have no option. At least I am not with that. I didn't end up with those three Mexican guys. I am with her in the car. So she starts driving and driving. I was in Monterrey. Monterrey means city of mountains. So she started driving me all the way to the top of the mountain. And then I started really like having a little anxiety in me. And I'm like, what is she going to do with me at the mountain? She's going to throw me? Why is she taking me to the top of the mountain? And it was completely and utterly like uncivilized. There was no one, no house, no lights, somewhere like in the middle of nowhere. So she parks her car by the edge of the mountain. I am like, okay, what's going on here? And I started pleading the blood of Jesus, I am whispering, oh, the blood of Jesus. And then she tells me, come on, come on. Very friendly though, come on. I am like, okay, I get out. So I have a plan. If she pushes me, if she tries to, I'm going to wrestle her like this. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm thinking in my mind. And she tells me, come here and look at the city. And I look at the city. I'm like, okay. She's like, I just want to tell you something. I know you are frustrated. I know you are tired. And you waited for me 1 hour. I'm sorry. But last year, Satanists stabbed my daughter, 12-year-old daughter, on the heart and killed her. And sometimes I go through things and I don't understand. And I come here always. And I look at the city from the top of the mountain. And I say, you know what? Some things don't make sense to us when we are close to them. But when I come here, when I am looking at everything and I say, God must be seeing our biggest problems like this. Our biggest problems are very small to him. And then I understand he sees everything and he still cares. And that gives me comfort. And for some reason, and I was going through something in my life at that time, and very big challenge, very, very difficult time in my life. And she said, for some reason, I felt like God spoke to me to take you here and tell you whatever problem you are dealing with is very little in His eyes. And He is going to make a way when it seems there's no way. So I ended up crying with her there. I ended up hugging her. She started hugging me. And my first ministry night, my first night in Mexico, it was just that sweet presence of Jesus. Sweet presence of Jesus was just released on both of us. As a mother, I am a mother, and at that time my daughter was close to her daughter's age, that she lost her daughter. And I got to really minister to this wonderful woman of God that we became lifelong friends later on that night. And God was speaking to me again and teaching me another lesson. When you are going somewhere to even minister, when you think that you're going to bless other people, maybe they will be a blessing to you. They will be a ministry to you. And don't close any doors just because you have fixed expectations. Be flexible and let God be God.